Oliver, Dave Lewis at Unilever sold soap and shampoo. Has he got what it takes, or does anyone have what it takes to fix Tesco, the UK's biggest retailer?
Well, he's taken on a big challenge. He'll be taking over later this year from Phil Clark, who it was announced today will be leaving as chief executive of Tesco. As you say, his experience is all in soap and shampoo at Unilever, so he'll be taking that to Tesco. The question is really whether that marketing ability and branding ability is going to be enough to turn around some of the very serious problems that there are at Tesco.
The way I see Tesco is it's kind of a discounter without discount prices. The likes of Lidl and Aldi have, in Germany, for example, like almost half market share, and they seem to be getting to that point in the UK. So what in particular does Tesco need to do to respond to that threat?
So one option would be to be far more aggressive on pricing. One of the great criticisms of Phil Clark during his time in charge was that he wasn't aggressive enough on pricing in the face of Lidl and Aldi who have been cutting prices, and others have been going down that route. William Morrison has cut its prices quite aggressively. That's not quite bearing fruit yet, but it's the early stages of that strategy. Even Sainsbury, another mid-market rival, has launched its own sort of cut-price supermarket called Netto. So everyone's going down this route, and you wonder whether Dave Lewis will have the appetite to really enter this price war quite aggressively. Certainly Tesco has the cash flow and balance sheet to do, but it'll be a very brave move.
Well, I mean, speaking of cash flow, if you're buying Tesco shares here, they have a 5% dividend yield, which isn't too bad, but if they do discount, that will reduce cash flow. And also another question here is Tesco spending too much or too little in terms of capex and spending on stores?
Well, it stopped spending under Phil Clark. It stopped a lot of its capex. So it used to spend a lot on new stores, and that was where its growth came from. And there was a real correlation between capex and sales growth. They added new stores, they got more sales. That's tailed off. Phil Clark has stopped building new stores. So there's a lot of cash being generated and not being spent on capex. Now, it could put more money into capex. There's no guarantee that will get the growth back, given that the UK market is looking pretty saturated at the moment. As you say, any aggressive move on price would threaten the cash flow and perhaps even threaten the dividend, which is why a lot of people buy Tesco shares. So it'll be a big, very brave move to do that. But he has to come up with something quite big and quite brave, because what Tesco has been doing so far has been perhaps too piecemeal in too many ways to really make a difference.
Okay, so we'll have to watch that dividend. Thank you, Oliver.